Hello students, let us go through one more sum based on speed, distance and time. I hope you all remember the technique that we discussed in the previous module, right? Very simple sum, just stick to the technique that we discussed. The sum this time is, places A and B are 30 kilometers apart and they are on a straight road. Hamid travels from A to B on a bike and at the same time Joseph starts from B on the bike, travels towards A. They meet each other after 20 minutes. If Joseph would have started from B at the same time but in the opposite direction instead of towards A, Hamid would have caught him after 3 hours. Find the speed of Hamid and Joseph. Don't worry about the length of the sum. Let's go step by step. First, just read the last statement. And the last statement is find the speed of Hamid and Joseph. And because the question is find the speed of Hamid and Joseph, let's start. Let the speed of Hamid be x kilometers per hour and let the speed of Joseph be y kilometers per hour. So out of the three, distance, speed and time, speed is already assumed. Now it's just about distance and time now, right? Speed is assumed. Hamid, the speed is x kilometers per hour and Joseph, the speed is y kilometers per hour. Now let's see what exactly is happening in this sum. If you actually check, places A and B are 30 kilometers apart. So there are two places A and B as you all can see and they are 30 kilometers apart from each other, right? They are on a straight road. Hamid travels from A on the bike. So Hamid is this, travels from A on the bike, right? And Joseph starts from B. And Joseph is moving towards A. So both are moving in the opposite direction as you all can see, right? They meet after 20 minutes. So they start traveling and say for example, we assume that they meet at point C. So the time taken by Hamid to travel from A to C is 20 minutes and time taken by Joseph to travel from B to C is also 20 minutes. So time is given to us. Hamid's time is also 20 minutes and Joseph's time is also 20 minutes. So speed is assumed, time is given. So what remains? Distance. We need to use the formula for distance in this sum, right? How do we do it? Let's see. So A, C, B, the distance, the total distance is 30 kilometers. A to C is Hamid, B to C is Joseph. The time taken by both of them is 20 minutes. Hamid is traveling with a speed of x and Joseph is traveling with a speed of y. That is what we know so far in the sum. So let's do it. Just that 20 minutes because we have assumed it in kilometers per hour. So just convert this 20 minutes into hours and for that we need to divide by 60. So 20 minutes is basically 20 upon 60, that is 1 upon 3 hours. So whatever we will be doing in this sum will be in regards to hours and not in regards to minutes. Always remember this, right? So we need to convert this. So 20 minutes is 1 upon 3 hours. Okay, so that's the time taken by Hamid as well as by Joseph. Let's learn this sum in a tabular form. Again, table is not to be the part of your presentation in the exam. It is only for your understanding. So there are two people here, two persons. One is Hamid, the other is Joseph. The distance is what we don't know. Speed we know and time we know. Speed we have assumed as x and y and time both are taking 1 upon 3 and 1 upon 3 hours, right? So what remains is distance. Because distance remains, what we do is we use a formula to find the distance. Distance is equal to speed into time, right? So what would be the distance traveled by Hamid? It is 1 upon 3 into x, that is 1 upon 3x. So can we say the distance AC, Hamid's distance is 1 upon 3x? And similarly, distance traveled by Joseph will be 1 upon 3 into y, that is 1 upon 3y. So distance BC, that is the distance traveled by Joseph, is 1 upon 3y. Now look at this entire figure here. AC is 1 upon 3x, that's the distance traveled by Hamid. BC is 1 upon 3y, that's the distance traveled by Joseph. And AB, the total distance is 30. So AC, BC, AB. Can we say from the figure, it is very clear, AC plus BC is equal to AB. In other words, the equation will be 1 upon 3x plus 1 upon 3y is equal to the total distance, that is 30. Very, very simple, right? Now, to simplify this, we need to multiply throughout by 3. We already know this. And when we multiply throughout by 3, what we get is x plus y is equal to 90. Let this be equation number 1. The second equation is also similar, just a small change in the second equation. What is that change and how it will affect our equation? Let's see. The second condition, it says, if Joseph would have started traveling from B at the same time but in the opposite direction. First both were moving in the same direction, in the opposite direction. Now both are moving in the same direction. Can you see? This is Hamid traveling from A and this is Joseph now moving in the opposite direction. That is, it is also moving in this direction. So now both are moving in the same direction like this. Again, they are meeting after 3 hours. So now they will not meet somewhere here, they will meet somewhere here. Say for example, if they are meeting at point D after 3 hours. So now the time taken by Hamid to travel from A to D is 3 hours and time taken by Joseph to travel from B to D is also 3 hours. In the first condition, the time given was 20 minutes. Now the time given is 3 hours. So in this 3 hours, Hamid is traveling from A to D and Joseph is traveling from B to D. So we know the time, we know the speed, so we can easily find the distance AD and distance BD, right? Distance AD is the distance travelled by Hamid and distance BD is the distance travelled by Joseph, right? So let's do that again in the tabular form. The speed is x of Hamid and y of Joseph. The time is 3 hours of Hamid and 3 hours of Joseph, right? So now the distance will be speed into time, which is 3x kilometers. So distance AD is 3x kilometers, as you all can see here. Similarly, distance BD, the distance travelled by Joseph, will be 3 into y, that is 3y kilometers, right? Now look at this. Can we say this time it is A dash B dash D? So this time it will be like AB plus BD is equal to AD. How much is AB distance? It is 30 kilometers given in the question. How much is BD distance? It is 3y, right? Why 3y? This is the distance covered by Joseph. 3 is the time and y is the speed of Joseph. So 3y is the distance BD. So 30 plus 3y is AD, the distance travelled by Hamid, which is equal to 3x. So we get the equation as 30 plus 3y is equal to 3x. Now bring the equations in the required form, that is variables on one side and constants on the other side. We get 30 is equal to 3x minus 3y. In other words, 3x minus 3y is equal to 30. Dividing throughout by 3, we get x minus y is equal to 10. Let this be the second equation. First equation we have already got, x plus y is equal to 90. So two very, very easy equations. We can easily solve them by adding the two equations, right? So let's add equation 1 and 2. Plus y minus y will get cancelled. We get 2x is equal to 100. We get x is equal to 100 upon 2. So x is equal to 50. Once we get the value of x as 50, substitute x either in the first or the second equation. If we substitute say x is equal to 50 in the first equation, we get 50 plus y is equal to 90. So y is equal to 90 minus 50, y is equal to 40. X is 50, y is 40. Just write the final answer. Speed of Hamid's motorcycle is 50 kilometers per hour and speed of Joseph's motorcycle is 40 kilometers per hour. As simple as that.